what's cool about this record, I had a chance to really think about it a lot here recently because I haven't been touring. So, there's so much that goes into making it. Then you're making it, then it's made, then you kind of move on. But I've been really just reflecting on it a lot because it's kind of reflecting on the record means I'm reflecting on the last 2 years of my life. When I went into making this record, my dad was alive, and we weren't going to have any more than 2 kids. We were kind of done with moving out of that phase of our life. So I was kind of going one direction, then all of a sudden, going into making the record, my dad passed away, then my wife got pregnant, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, okay, life's kind of kicking my ass right now. We're going this way, and we're going this way, and so it kind of started in a darker place with just with my dad and all that, and the first single we put out, Bourbon in Kentucky, probably was reflective of that kind of place. But then I kind of moved, through a summer of so much fun of touring Corinna Lambert. It was like the most fun tour I've been on, just headlining this Locked and Reloaded tour. So much fun. There's cathartic every night. My son's being born. So all these great things are happening in life here. So I feel like Riser is a reflection of the last 2 years of my life, which have been really meaty 2 years of life. Just with people coming, people going, and touring, and being a touring married musician with a family. It's a lot of interesting content to draw from. So I'm still able to go be that guy and therefore sing those songs about chilling on a back porch and the sounds of summer and these fun kind of party-esque songs that are a big staple for my live show. But a couple years ago, I couldn't write the songs that I'm writing now, like Here on Earth or I Held On. These are songs that require more life experience than I'd had at the time, and certainly having 3 kids and losing your dad puts you in a new part of life that I had never been in before. So a lot of stuff to draw from. Been pretty cool.
I'm just going to skip a couple because Damn These Dreams hit a very personal note for me because I grew up, my dad was trying to make it. So he spent most of my life doing writer's nights and gone constantly, and he didn't realize how much he missed until I was gone.
You were gone? Like, how old were you by the time you left? Like teens?
Like, he moved here when I was 15, but before that he was in a band. And So,
only reason I asked, I'm trying to think how many years do I have left. My daughter's 5, and I feel like it's like when I lived in the house, she's just like,
he never made it, you know. So,
that's tough.
That's a part of
this
that people don't talk about.
No, I don't. I remember waiting in line at the Bluebird. I never told anyone this, but I was waiting in line at the Bluebird Cafe to do my audition to get a slot. And if I got the audition, then 6 months later, you get a chance to go back and perform for You Hope industry people. And I was waiting in line. It's a long line to wait there. Waiting. And there's this guy behind me. I noticed he's there with his wife and like a couple of kids waiting in line too. I remember thinking like, gosh, dude, that is tough. Like to be at the beginning of the dream, of trying to live the dream. With already married with kids, that is so tough. Because when you're single, you're just like, hey, I'm gonna spend 6 hours waiting in line to Bluebird to do this one thing, and then and then after that, I'm gonna go downtown, listen to this band play, and then I might go catch this writer's night. I mean, you're so focused on music all the time. Luckily for me, I had a chance to do all that stuff, whether it worked out or not. But I had a chance to do all that before I even really got married. So that's crazy to think about. And I think about my friends that are still down there trying to make it. But for me, that song, it's like okay, you do make it, and you are living the dream, and then all of a sudden you get lucky enough to live the other dream, which is you find the right girl and get married, and you have your kids and the family. And I want to be I like being a dad as much as I like being a singer. I put as much energy into being good at that as I put into being good at this. So there's these 2 things really pulling at you. You're trying to be great at both of them, and there are 2 things that are never meant to go together because you're gone a lot. Gone every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, every single one of them. You do what you can to try to obviously to be as present as possible when you're home, but when you're home, you're also trying to write songs, and there's a lot of work to be done when you get off the road. So I try to find ways to bring them out there, or to I got my pilot's license so I could fly to some gigs and cut the corners off some of the mornings so I could be home for school and stuff. Drop off, but it's a weird situation that no one really ever talks about. It's more, there's the party songs and the lifestyle songs. I'm a big part. I've written a lot of those songs, and when I'm out on the road, that's what our live show is kind of about. I mean, Damn These Dreams won't be in the live show. No one wants to hear Damn These Dreams when it's a Friday night and they're missing their kids too, and they're going through tough times. No one wants to hear that. And we don't do that. It's an album song. But yeah, it's honesty. I think what we were shooting for this record was honest stuff, and yeah, that's about as honest as it gets.
So you have the documentary coming out, and speaking of honesty, so
Yeah.
are you nervous at all for people to kind of see all aspects of everything?
Nervous wouldn't even begin to be the right word. It's way beyond nervous. It's just outright just. You could killing me with a spoon. It was like that's how it feels. It's so uncomfortable watching this documentary with other people. Like I watched it with my eyes closed with my wife, let alone like other people. And I had to watch it for the first time with like a crowd, and I was just back by the bar, just downing beers, like I mean, I'm getting uncomfortable now just even talking about it. It's just so hard. It's just I don't want to be on TV. I don't want to be on. I'm not made to be a judge or anything like that. It's just not who I am. And the people that do that are great at that and they enjoy it. I don't. I like my fans I like being very personal with them and sharing with them, but it's hard for me to watch myself on TV, let alone like with my family, my wife, and we're going to the hospital now to have a baby. Like, why did I make this video? But the reason I made it is because it has been such an interesting 2 years. And when I was approached with the idea, I really thought this would be like the coolest thing to have on tape, to really have like big production home video of these last 2 years. To remember when my daughter was 5 and Jordan's 3 and Knox is just a little, infant. And only catch is I have to share it with everybody. It's like, okay. But I mean, the older I get, right, when something makes me uncomfortable, I always, instead of running away from it, I always kind of look at it a little bit and ask myself why. And there's good in being uncomfortable. Good music comes out of being uncomfortable, and hopefully a good documentary comes out of me being the very uncomfortable person back at the bar.
What did your wife think when you approached her?
Uncomfortable. My wife doesn't even like doing about carpet. She's like the anti. She doesn't like being in pictures. She's not on Twitter, not on Facebook, doesn't do blogs. She's like likes a small group of friends and red wine and just her group. She's an introvert, and I love that about her. It took me a while to kind of understand that because I also really like being alone, but I have no problem jumping into the middle of the crowd and jumping up in the bar and making a fool of myself. But she doesn't like that, which I love. So I had to kind of run this documentary by her, and she was really cool about it. I mean, I think she really thinks this is a special time for us too. Appreciates the fact that the fans are the reason why we had this life in the first place, and for them to get a chance to kind of see this, and on my 7th record to kind of dig a little deeper and expose a little bit more for them is something that's important to do.